Hey, it's Neil again. NT Helper has some functionality built into it to update itself, and you'll see this bar on the bottom of the screen sometimes. Um, I update NT Helper every few days, probably on average, and you can click the What's New button. This will take you to the list of new features. I just implemented adding um, algorithms in bypass mode. So let's download and install that. And if I did my job right, hitting restart now should restart the app. And yeah, it should. And it did on my side. Although it's kind of hard to demo an app that has just stopped and started again, but I'll open it again. There we go. So yeah, that's how you do that. If you ever forget, you can also go to the About page and check for updates, and it'll either say you're up to date or it'll show you the same information that was just shown, and you'll be able to do an update directly from that page. Okay, firmware updates, same place. You can go to the About, and I think, no, firmware is over here. So there's like 3 different places in the app. Yeah, firmware is here, or if you're in the first page, there's a firmware button here, and you can also click on this down at the bottom, and it will take you to this page. So if you want to install a firmware, you can click install. It'll download that firmware, and then all you have to do is click the update firmware button. If your device is rather old or brand new, sorry, I mean if it has an old firmware on it, which could be the case coming from a store or from the factory, an older like run from a factory, it may have the wrong, or you might want to update it. You may have to go into the menu and show the go to the miscellaneous menu and click on this enter bootloader mode on the disting NT. But newer firmwares don't require this. I believe that came in maybe at 1.14 or 1.15. So you can just click update firmware, and this will begin the firmware update. And right now it's doing that update. This is actually a downgrade for me, but I often jump back and forth between different versions anyway, so it's all good. And once it's finished, you can see that the NT has now rebooted, and it'll go through its initial file scan, and you'll have that version of the firmware. If you ever need to check, you can go in to miscellaneous, go down to the bottom, I believe, or somewhere in here, about top of the page, and you'll see the firmware version and what date it was built on. You'll also see that on the NT helper screen, which I'll show you now. So when you hit done here, it will kick you out of the app so that you can actually reconnect, and you'll see the firmware message here. Now there's another way to do firmware, and I'll show you that next. So at the top of the screen you'll see the local zip file, and you can then choose one of the maintenance packages. I've just renamed it here to keep things separately. Oz releases these on the Discord periodically, and just rename it as a zip file and then hit open, and you'll be able to update your firmware to that version, which is usually beta builds and that kind of thing. So here I'm going back to the 1.17 beta that I was on previously. Now, the way this works in the background is that it's downloading releases off of GitHub. Those releases are signed for the operating systems mostly. I think Windows is the only one that I don't sign, and Linux maybe, so that they're acceptable to the operating systems to run in the background. And that firmware flashing program that gets downloaded is effectively the same as the open source code that was used in the original flashing application. I just spent a few days working on the code for it to make it a standalone app that's embeddable and also knows how to get the firmware off of Oz's website. So nothing nefarious going on there. It's just me trying to be helpful. And I mean, if you'd seen the older way to do it, this is actually much easier. So hopefully everybody likes. I think that's it for this short little tutorial on how to update NT Helper and how to update the firmware on the disting NT. Okay, so I'll catch you on the next one.